Hey Pisces, I hope you made it through the eclipse season. Actually sane. I don't know, it was pretty insane really with all of the planets that were retrograde. And these 3 different eclipses. You know, the odd man out in Leo in August. You know, there was a lot of flavors involved in all of this. Now I have an announcement to make before I go on. My other channel, Brothers of the Sword Productions, has another video out, and it's about the Black Madonna mystery. Black Madonna started showing up during the Crusades, and one Black Madonna has stitching on her garment that left a message, and I do a translation of that. If you're interested, the link is down below in the description box. Now we had a lot of things to fare through in July. The eclipse in Cancer, that was about change in home and our perspective about home. The eclipse in Aquarius, which was about relationships and plugging ourselves back into the conscious collective. That was a tough one. And then I'm sure there was a little bit of drama in August with the Leo eclipse. But then on the flip side, there was probably some fun and entertainment involved in it too. I know I went through quite a bit, and I found it paradoxical that it was very complicated to try to seek simplicity. You have a good reading, but really it's about decision making, especially in the future. Now the card that jumped out for you for the runes was Kenaz. This means light, fire, warmth. It's about enlightenment. You know, scattering away the dark shadows of ignorance and bringing in knowledge, inspiration, and discernment. This enlightenment that it brings is just a starting point for some adventures for you that can actually bring wisdom. But with this fire aspect of Kenaz, it is about passion for various things, romance, your career, advancement of all kinds. There's a lot of things going on with this because, you know, it can be about nourishment and the cauldron, and the fuel required to keep this nourishment going. But on the flip side, the more negative side, you have to be careful that you don't get burnt. And that's one thing about your reading, is that you have a whole mess of wands. And that's fire energy, so you're going to have to be really careful about being impetuous and getting burnt from being impetuous. But if you use Kenaz for what it's worth, you can have a guiding light for your path. Visualizing and creating your future by reinventing yourself. Now the Minchiati card that I picked for you was hearing. So maybe there's going to be some news coming down the pike. Something that's going to change things. Change the spirit of things. Or change the circumstances of things. Lately, I've had a lot of data downloads, and sometimes it seems to be accompanied by weird sounds in the house that just don't make sense from where they're coming from. The other day, it was really busy and noisy, and I'm going, where is it? It sounds like people are talking, but the TV or no radio was on. I pulled 2 overall energy cards for your reading, and you received the 8 of Pentacles and the World card. So you're at the end of a cycle, and that makes sense, just getting through these eclipses. Dust is settling, decisions need to be made, new challenges to be accepted. You have learned something, and you've graduated from something. Now you're moving on. And I like that 8 of Pentacles card. It's a card about talent and acumen, prowess, skills. And it's also about accepting new projects into your life. Maybe getting some new training, learning some new things, utilizing something and blowing the dust off some talents that you've had that you haven't used for a long time and applying them. The number 8 in itself is a karmic equalizer number. It's the connection of heaven to earth, the intangible with the tangible, spiritual with the physical. Now the cards on the left for what you know, receive the Ace of Wands and the 6 of Swords. The Ace of Wands is a call to action. It's a spiritual card. It's a card that's saying it's giving you a green light for new endeavors, new projects. This goes right along the line of the 8 of Pentacles. You got a promise for a new spiritual beginning that has to do with an application of some type of talent that you have. You're moving away from something, though, with the 6 of Swords. Maybe you're moving away to something that things that you just haven't done. New, exciting and new things, and you're moving towards them. The Ace of Wands brings a lot of energy into things. And the Swords brings intellect and proper communication. If you want to make it anywhere in the world, you need to communicate adequately, correctly. Wands is going to instill the energy that's needed. Mars has been retrograde forever, it seems like, and it's taken our energy and drained us. Now we have to be renewed. And I see that's going to happen too, because the cards next door is the Queen of Wands and the 3 of Wands. She's there to bring in your desires, but she'll do it her way, and she wants you to do it your way as well. Don't always go with the tried and true. Go out into the unknown, where no man has gone before. This is where your individuality comes into play. And with the 3 of Wands there, it's saying that you've already made some plans. You know what's going on. Now the wheels are starting to turn. You're launching your ideas into a reality. You're looking forward to the future now. I think during these eclipses, there was a lot of indecision, stagnation. We were just spinning our wheels going nowhere and actually using up our energy for things that weren't really serving us emotionally and physically especially. Now there's going to be some enthusiasm instilled in this. You're going to be really excited about some things that are going on in your life or ideas that are coming in. Maybe it's just the incoming right now and it's in its infant stage. Now the cards next door to the 3 of Wands, it's the 7 of Wands, another Wand card, and the Sun card. There you go. That's right down the line of Kenaz. You know, light, enlightenment, the torch following your way. But you know, the 7 of Wands is a warrior card. It's about disagreements, arguments. Maybe it's just you struggling inside about what you want to do and where you want to go and doing it the right way. A lot of times this 7 of Wands is where people are disagreeing with you about particular beliefs, personal, social, political. And a lot of times you have to represent them. And while you're arguing with these people, a lot of times you start questioning whether you're right or wrong about some of the things you feel about. You know, there's a lot of dogma that we learned in life and traditional things that just don't apply now in our modern day lives. But you know, the Sun and the Kenaz card is going to bring enlightenment. You know, the miasma and the mist is starting to dissipate, and you're going to be seeing things with clarity. This is going to bring prosperity and even some material things into your life that are going to accentuate your projects that you're going to be taking on. The Sun cards brings happiness. And this is playing off all of the Wands cards that you received, which is quite a few. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, Seven of Wands. Maybe there's an Aries, Leo, Sagittarian that's going to be a big player in September for you as well. So you can't overlook all these wands. Now, I pulled a lot of future cards, and I think it had to do really with the end of these eclipses and us looking forward now to some long-term goals that we're going to be setting. Because really, these eclipses were a big reset button for a lot of things. Home, relationships, and what's going on really with our happiness status. Are we happy? This was a time for us to review, do some release. Now, three of the cards in the future are all decision cards. You received the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Tower card. You're saying there's needed some readjustments. The Two of Wands again, the Eight of Pentacles again, which connects up to the overall energy card up there. The Seven of Cups, another decision card. So that's 4 decision cards in the future. The Two of Swords is saying that this is going to be a difficult decision, or some of the decisions will be difficult. One size doesn't fit all, and not everybody can win. It's not always a win-win-win world, but sometimes, you can make it so that it's not so hard on other people. But then again, make sure, you're feathering your own nest when you're making these decisions and starting these new projects. The same thing, too, with the Two of Wands, and you received it twice. This is a decision card. It's about balance and partnership, too. But it's more about making plans. Plans are more in depth than just making an off-the-handle decision. Plans have to do with preparing for things, making sure everything's in order. Now, you have the Tower card there saying there's going to be some shake-up, change in circumstances, and that's okay. The Tower card is a neutral card. It's really up to you how you utilize it. It can be a negative card and crash and burn and fall all over the place. Or you can utilize this change of circumstances to your benefit. I mean, perhaps it will be an upset. But then again, sometimes these type of upsets make us review. Are we going on the right path? Have we made the right decisions? Now here the Eight of Pentacles shows up again saying, yeah, there's a new project. There's some new things coming in. New talents that you're going to utilize. Or some old ones that you're going to be applying again. This is an application card. And what better to get a card about application when you have wands for enthusiasm, optimism, inspiration, and creativity. But the very last card is the Seven of Cups. This is a decision card too. And it really is similar to the Two of Swords of making a hard decision. There can be some splayed energy, maybe because the Tower card's up above it. But just get a grip on things and make some of the right decisions. Review what you're doing. This card can be about illusions too, so make sure you get a grip and you ground yourself. So you're not in some kind of fantasy land while you're making these decisions and some plans. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.